Kodak Black dropped his album Cutthroat Bill Volume 1. You know what? I was impressed by this. And I want to say this. I think Kodak's one of those guys in this era that has the ability to not only make radio friendly records, for this era, but he also has something to say. And he can handle the hook. He doesn't really need features. I actually thought that the lower points of this project were when he had the features.
Hello.
And he kind of reminds me, and don't, don't take don't take this the wrong way, people, but he kind of reminds me of Future in a sense where he can get on your record and change the color of it, but he also doesn't need you when it comes to featuring. So, he can just do these records himself. People come or listen to him to hear him. You know what I mean? Like, people ain't trying to hear the producer that he's working with. People ain't trying to hear who he's featured with, really. He's all, he's an insulated artist in that sense. And again, like I said, he has something to say. And I was impressed. I think this is the album that people built up Lil Baby to make.
I 100% agree with everything that you just said, Mike. I was pleasantly surprised by this project. Even though it's short and under an hour, it's still too damn long.
Yeah. It's too many tracks.
It's too many tracks. It's not too long, it's too many songs. Mm-hmm. But outside of it being too many songs, it's a pretty dope album. I'll tell you this. And this was my epiphany for the day. I agree with you about the Lil Baby sentiment. This was the album. When I heard 300 Blackout, and I Can't Sleep, and I'm So Awesome, I was like, that's the shit I asked Lil Baby to make that he ain't make. All right, that's cool. But here's what I started thinking about. Mike, I had a whole new appreciation for Gunna today and how dope Gunna is.
I was thinking that too, and you took another one of my talking points. Yeah.
Well, you took my talking point about Lil Baby, so I'm going to take your Gunna talking point. Man, that nigga Gunna is fire. Free Gunna. Like,
he can make stuff by himself.
Today, as much as I like this album, and I do like this album, it's not as good as Gunna's album. It's not as good as Gunna's last album, in my opinion. Gunna's that dude from this young crop, Mike. Like, while you've been talking about Savage, and I've been talking about Lil Baby, Gunna, Mike.
I'm with you on that.
And because when I heard this album today, I thought to myself, the only person from this era with this type of notoriety that I feel like could hold these songs down by himself is Gunna, who's not here right now, obviously, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
You feel me? And so with that being said, it's like, oh no, I'm pushing Kodak up the line in his class. You feel what I'm saying?
Now, 21 has a lot of help. And Metro Boomin's a big part of that. He's about to do an album with Drake. And when you think about how much feature help 21 has had, he's had a lot of help. Now, Gunna works with
that's what I'm saying. No. When I'm saying I'm bumping him up the line, is that I'm bumping Kodak up above Lil Baby and Savage. Yeah, like as in like Gunna's the one that's really in pole position from his generation, Mike. And I just realized it when I listened to this album today. He's really that dude. Now I know why. Remember when we were interviewing Matt and the Yardies, homie Cream De Niro?
Yeah.
And Cream was like, Thug wouldn't let Gunna go anywhere because he was trying to sign him and like didn't want nobody else him falling into anybody else's hands.
Yep.
Now I understand why when Cream was telling us that. Because it's that serious with Gunna. Because the only person that can make these songs and make these songs better would be Gunna. Kodak don't need nobody. And then it made me think, it's like, oh man, a Kodak and Gunna feature on this album would have put this album over the top too. That's why I was thinking about Gunna today too, because I feel like the features didn't really do him justice on this project.
Yeah, he don't need anybody.
And then you know what else I thought about, Mike? And this was my last thought. I hope Nas has a track with Kodak.
Kendrick already did that.
No, because Kodak just gave the Liz a boost by doing a joint with Armani.
Yeah, he did.
His joint's dropping. Yeah, I know Kodak's people. Oh, Kodak's people gonna do numbers, and Kodak people know how to stream too.
Right.
That's a good look for artists, for independent artists like Griselda. mass appeal. A guy like Kodak wanting to come on you. No, so I'm for the Nas and Kodak record. Now you understand how this
I
shit
feel what you
works,
mean.
and he's showing himself capable of making an album like this and hold it down by himself. Oh yeah, yeah. If you can get Fabio and A Boogie with the hoodie, who I don't think are Kodak.
No, they're not.
Yep, yep.
Mad Max with the super chat says,
Put Kodak on KD3.
he said Kodak be talking for real introspective guy, like a real introspective guy in his music.
Yeah.
He don't get enough credit. He gave Cardi a career. Yes, I was gonna say that
He is the
too.
author. He did
LOL.
write Bodak Yellow.
He gave
Yeah.
Megan a phrase. Kodak is the most impactful rapper today, and it's not close. You know what? Thank you for that one, Mad Max. I think I was gonna leave that out
That's
of the
one of
show,
the young
but
cats saying that.
Bodak
That's the
Yellow.
young cats. That's Mad Max. That's our young cat in the chat telling us what time it is.
Yeah, Bodak
Yeah.
Yellow is Cardi's biggest song, and she's still living off of it. To be perfectly honest, as an artist, like that's the record that has her sitting in a position where she doesn't have to make anything. That's Kodak.
No, y'all see. Here's the thing. This is the thing that my cousin used to always tell me when I was younger, when I was first becoming an MC. Don't become so much of a head that you can't see when another nigga is dope at what he's doing, Coop.
Yeah.
You're doing yourself a disservice as a hip hop head and as a fan when you take those stances in perspective and say that you're doing it for the love of the culture, because you're not doing it for the love of the culture. You're keeping the culture in one place when you do that.
That's facts.
He used to tell me that when I was a teenager, Mike.
Yeah.
It stayed with me because it's true. And so what I care about is the music. Did I hear this man make an album by himself that's dope? Yep. Did the songs where he actually had help sound like the weaker songs half the time? Yep. Does that mean he deserves some credibility and recognition? Well, yes. Is he Black Thought on the mic? Well, hell no. And he not trying to be, and he doesn't have to be to exist in this sphere and to make a good project.
He's giving other people hits, like Mad Max was saying. Like Diddy's son has a hit because he, Kodak. It is what it is. Jay Short with the super chat says, if KD3 is any good, it doesn't matter what the other guy does. The GOAT argument will be old man yelling at the cloud at this point, or Marty McFly coming from 2001 in the DeLorean. Unknown name says, little known fact, Kodak idolizes Nas. Probably why the content is always there.
Well, there we go.
Let's get that Kodak and Nas collaboration on KD3.
Or Corday, who idolizes Nas. You see what I'm saying? Like the guys from this generation that actually have content, who they be talking about?
Yeah. Man Max with the super chat says, Kodak is number one from his class. He has hits from 2015. Gunna is good, but nah, he ain't yet. Kodak had this since No Flocking. Kodak does. I forget about those records. Now I
think Gunna's just a better song maker consistently. Like, and then you look at the hits and the stuff that Gunna's done with Savage and Thug and Baby. Like, I'm starting to look at Gunna like it's like, hold on, their best stuff the last 5 years got Gunna on it in addition to Gunna stuff too.
Right.
You feel me? Right.
36 Chambers says Kodak's impact with Cardi is a problem because it waters down the music and it wasn't good. Cardi ain't it. On the old head stuff, get off my lawn.